Welcome in everyone to Flyover Footy, a very special Flyover focus today. My name is Matt Baker, and I'm bringing some information from an early week press conference from St. Louis City. This is going to be a little different, a lot shorter than our podcast versions, kind of a quick hit that we're trying out as we look to try out some new things this year in our 2024 coverage of St. Louis City SC. Bradley Carnell, along with Nökkvi Thórisson and Julu Blom, were available to the media on Monday, January 29th, to provide a little bit of an update on how preseason's been going and just how things have been progressing with training for the players, their trip to Florida, and as they prepare for their second leg of preseason beginning next weekend in California. Some things that we found out this week are St. Louis City is appearing to try a potential new facet to their style of play. We received an update on Nicholas Dewar and his timeline for debuting with St. Louis City. We got to look at our midfield through the eyes of Julu Blom, and we had to see and hear a little bit about how the newbies are fitting in Tomas Totland and Chris Durkin. So let's start off with Nökkvi Thórisson. Nökkvi Thórisson provided a little bit of an insight into how Bradley Carnell is in his second year of head coaching, as well as a little glimpse into something new St. Louis City might be throwing at us in 2024. Changes to what's being asked of you guys on the field so far after last year? You had a few months with the Bradley Carnell team, and just kind of what do you think about him overall as a coach in a preseason setting?
Great coach, knows a lot about tactics and a lot about soccer. So, and just he wants to add on a little different things with the ball, which we are going to be focusing on this preseason camp, and then just tightening the screws and never forgetting our DNA, which is the high pressing, suffocating the opponent like we do all the time, and so we can never get that, and yeah, just a hardworking guy, which I appreciate a lot.
This should come as some exciting updates for St. Louis City and how we can expect them to play on the field, as one of the biggest issues or problems I think a lot of people felt with St. Louis City down the stretch is that they were a little exposed when they were given the ball. The ability for St. Louis to play on the ball was a little lacking as the season progressed, and it may have led to some difficult moments down the stretch. So this seems like a very easy point for Bradley Carnell to introduce new concepts to his team and a very smart way to approach this season as St. Louis City looks to hold their position atop the Western Conference and looking to find new ways to be successful with the ball, just like they were against the ball and on their pressing style in 2023. In addition to that, Bradley Carnell provided an update to Nicholas Dewar, the new left back signing for St. Louis City. As of Monday morning, Nicholas Dewar was in St. Louis. He met with Bradley Carnell in person for the first time Monday morning. He was getting his physical and his baselines on Monday and Tuesday. Tuesday, he potentially could see the field, but Bradley Carnell said by Wednesday, he should be joining the team and beginning to ramp up his preseason work with St. Louis. So then we heard from Julu Blom as well and kind of had a glimpse into how the midfield is performing, as well as how Julu Blom feels in his second season going through his first full preseason, but developing into kind of a leadership role along the lines of Edu Leuven. Year with the team, you're a little more established. Do you feel like you're able to help some of the newer guys get going in this system?
Yeah, obviously, we spoken about that, like in the meeting, the coach was telling us to like help more the new guys. Like Chris, if we play the same position, we helping each other on the field. Edu obviously is an old guy, so yeah, like we helping each other at training.
Chris Durkin obviously coming from DC United to play that same position in the central midfield as Julu Blom, one of the more interesting players that we're going to watch as he progresses through the California section of preseason. And Bradley Carnell likewise had some really high marks for Chris Durkin and what he saw in Florida. Did you see that Chris Durkin, his first minutes with City?
Yeah, I mean, he's really aggressive, covers a lot of ground. He's a good character. He's a great teammate. Yeah, and he's willing to do just about whatever it takes to be successful. So, he's got a great growth mindset. Growth mindset. He's asking questions. He's looking at video. Again, we said he's going to be a really good fit here from just his character standpoint, and we're trying to develop him still, within the soccer point of view of how we play.
Chris Durkin, of course, one of the three big signings for St. Louis City in the offseason. One of the other big signings, Tomas Totland, a right back who arrived at camp a few weeks ago, was in Florida with the team and seemed to be impressing Bradley Carnell in his appearance 45 minutes against Nashville. players surprise you, whether they, how they handled the 45 or what you're expecting based on that load
Yeah,
last
I
week?
think Tomas Totland was a guy that came in ready, and he's flying here. I mean, he runs the line and he doesn't break a sweat. So I think he's really sharp in terms of the game understanding and being an option for us on that right hand side, and just the load standpoint. So he can handle a lot of which is good. So now we just need to get him more ingrained with the style of play, what we're trying to do. But he came in ready.
One of the exciting things for Tomas Totland is the ability to have a full preseason with St. Louis City. As Nicholas Dewar and Julu Blom of last year showed, it could be a little bit of a learning curve, and we expect Dewar to come on slower, but it's exciting to have Totland have a full preseason, a full camp with the club, learning the style of play, and being able to progress that stamina. That was an exciting thing to hear from Bradley Carnell in how quickly he's getting up to speed physically. So what he brings to the right side of the field, we'll hammer down in Flyover Footy on our full podcast in depth as the season progresses, but the two-way player is an exciting facet and looking to enhance what Jake Nerwinski and Akil Watts were doing last year at the right back position. It was one of our areas of need going in. So Tomas Totland is definitely going to have eyes on him to see how he can enhance the right side. And we look to hear more from St. Louis City. This week is jam-packed with access, press conference, interviews. We look to hear from Lutz Pfannenstiel and Diego Giolini on Wednesday as they give a press conference. Then Thursday, Bradley Carnell, along with a few players we hope to hear from as well, to find out how they're progressing into California, as of course, St. Louis begins their second leg of preseason this coming weekend, where they'll play the LA Galaxy on February 3rd. That match will be streamed, as we found out this week, stlcitysc.com/app. Download the app. And then we look to watch that match at 3 p.m. Central Time on Saturday. For Flyover Footy, join us whenever we stream our podcast Thursday night. The full podcast is available wherever you get your podcasts. Search Flyover Footy on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, or wherever. On Fridays, Santiago Beltran and I will be back during the season for Flyover Fallouts. And we have so much more. We're excited to cover St. Louis City SC. We're excited to talk about them, discuss them, and cheer them on alongside the rest of St. Louis. I'm Matt Baker. Have a good one.